In today's video, I'll share with you why time travels, why we see time go forward. Stick around the channel. Why disorder increases and why we remember the past but not the future. Time was treated as if it were a straight railway line on which one could only go one way or the other. Listen, but what if the railway line had loops and branches so that a train could keep going forward but come back to a station it had already passed? In other words, might it be possible for someone to travel into the future or the past? H.G. Wells in the Time magazine explored these possibilities, as have countless other writers of science fiction. You know, I'm a fan of science fiction and I've been a voracious reader from the beginning, so I got immersed in books when I was still a little kid. Here are some simple research I found. You see, countless other writers of science fiction discovered this. Yet many of the ideas of science fiction, like submarines and time travel to the moon, have become matters of science fact. So, what are the prospects for time travel? The first indication that the laws of physics might really allow people to travel in time came in 1999, when Kurt Gödel discovered a new space-time allowed by general relativity. Gödel was a mathematician who was famous for proving that it is impossible to prove all truth statements, even if you limit yourself to trying to prove all true statements in a subject as apparently cut and dried as arithmetic, like the uncertainty principle. Gödel's incompetentness theory may be a fundamental limitation on our ability to understand and predict the universe, but so far at least it hasn't seemed to be an obstacle in our search for a complete unfilled theory. Let us dive in. Gödel got to know about general relativity when he and Einstein spent their later years at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, USA. His space-time had the curious property that the whole universe was rotating. That was by Gödel and Einstein. And you see, after discovering that the whole universe was rotating, one might ask, rotating with respect to what? You ask yourself. This is deep into physics. I know it disturbs some people might view, but I will explain little bit by bit. One might ask, rotating with respect to what? The answer is that instant matter would be rotating with respect to direction that the little tops or gyroscopes point in. I repeat this. The answer is that distant matter would be rotating with respect to directions that little tops or gyroscopes point in. This had the side effect that it would be possible for someone to go off in a rocket ship and return to Earth before he set out. You see how science confuses. This property really upset Einstein. Like Einstein, it blew off the Einstein's mind, who had thought that general relativity wouldn't allow time travel. However, given Einstein's record of ill-founded oppositions to gravitation collapse and the uncertainty principle, maybe this was an encouraging sign. The solution Gödel found does not correspond to the universe we live in, because we can show that the universe is not a rotating object. So we still remain with unclear answer. Why should someone, or why can someone travel back to the past or to the future but stays in the present? stick around such that you won't miss other educating information like this one. Love you.